The post Gupta age. In the post Guptan age, there was, after the fall of the Guptas, there was political disintegration in the northern India. There was political disintegration in the northern India. A number of independent kingdoms, they rose up and they quarreled among themselves to establish supremacy over others. The Maitrakas, the uh, Kalachuris, the uh, Gujaras, the Maukaris, the later Guptas, and the kingdoms of Tanesar, Kashmir, Nepal, Bengal, Assam, and Orissa were some of the important principalities that emerged after the decline of the imperial Guptas. So, in the beginning of the 7th century, Harshavardhana of Tanesar, he succeeded in establishing a big empire and also political unity for a short period. So, in the beginning of 7th century, Harshavardhana of Tanesar, he succeeded in establishing a big empire and also political unity for a short period. So, Taneshwar. So, the Pushyabhuti kingdom was Taneshwar. Then Makauri kingdom was Kanauj. The Makauri kingdom was Kanauj. Maitraka kingdom was Vallabhi. Then Kamarupa kingdom with the capital Pragjotishpura. The Maitrakas and the Pushyabhuti kingdom Taneshwar was in Haryana. Pushyabhuti kingdom Taneshwar was in Haryana. Makauri kingdom capital Kanauj was in Uttar Pradesh. Then Maitraka kingdom in Vallabhi, Gujarat. Kamarupa kingdom Pragjotishpura in Assam. Assam is also called as Kamarupa kingdom. Then the Gauda kingdom, Karna Suvarna. Gauda kingdom's capital was Karna Suvarna in West Bengal. Then the king of Gauda kingdom was Gauda Shashanka. The king of Gauda kingdom was in West Bengal, Karna Suvarna. The king was Gauda Shashanka. He was a Shaivite. And Gauda Shashanka, he destroyed the people tree at Gaya. Gauda Shashanka was important because both Gayalo ఉన్న పీపుల్ ట్రీ బుద్ధుడు మెడిటేట్ చేసిన పీపుల్ ట్రీని డెస్ట్రాయ్ చేశాడు. గౌడ కింగ్డమ్ గౌడ శశాంక. హీ వాస్ ఎ సైవైట్. అండ్ ఆ తర్వాత పోస్ట్ గుప్తన్ ఏజ్లో వచ్చిన ఇంకొన్ని కింగ్డమ్స్ వచ్చి డెక్కన్లో. ఇన్ డెక్కన్ ఇట్ వాస్ బాదామి చాళుక్యాస్ విత్ ద క్యాపిటల్ బాదామి ఇన్ కర్ణాటక. అండ్ సౌత్లో వచ్చి పల్లవాస్ ఆఫ్ కంచి విత్ కంచి యాజ్ దర్ క్యాపిటల్ ఇన్ తమిళనాడు. Now we see about the Pushyabhuti kingdom. The Pushyabhuti kingdom was founded by Pushyabhuti. Pushyabhuti kingdom was founded by Pushyabhuti, and they are Samantas of Guptas. They are Samanta Rajulu. Pushyabhuti kingdom, Pushyabhuti was Samantas of Guptas. Then the important king was Prabhakara was the first important king of the Pushyabhuti dynasty with the capital region of Taneshwar or Tanesar, anything. Then Prabhakara Vartana, he had the title of Maharajadi Raja అనే టైటిల్ ఉండింది ప్రభాకర వర్ధనకి. Then comes Harshavardhana. Actually, according to Law Excellence, the founder is also given as Naravardhana. Maybe Pushyabhuti is also called as Naravardhana. Then it was after him it is Harshavardhana. 606 AD to 647 AD. In the beginning of the 7th century AD, Harshavardhana of Taneshwar, he succeeded in establishing a big empire and also political unity in the northern India for a short period. Then source materials regarding Harshavardhana. Several historical sources of information about the reign of Harshavardhana or the 7th century are historical sources ఏవి, that is Huan Sang's account in his book Siyuki. Huang Sang's account in his book Siyuki, and Siyuki వచ్చి travelers experiences of the traveler. Huan Sang's book account in his book Siyukiలో ఉంది about Harshavardhana. And Banabhatta's Harsha Charita and has also got the a source of Harshavardhana, and inscriptions, coins, and Harsha's own writings, that is Ratnavali, Priyadarshika, and Nagananda. Ratnavali, Priyadarshika, Nagananda, all these describe about Harshavardhana. So these are the sources. So let's read some history about how Harsha came into power. The Maitrakas, ఇందాక చెప్పాం కదా, the Maitrakas king of Vallabhi. The Maitrakas ruled over Vallabhi, situated in Kataiva region of Gujarat. Okay, they became powerful towards the close of the 6th century AD, and the Gurjaras took advantage of the fall of the Guptas, and they proclaimed their independence in the Rajputana kingdom. So Maitrakas were in Gujarat, in Vallabhi. The Gurjaras were in Rajputana region. Okay, and Makauris were a very ancient family. They ruled over Magadha. Makauri kingdom, Kanauj, Uttar Pradesh annama. Makauris were an ancient family and they ruled over Magadha. The later Guptas, they were feudatories of the imperial Guptas. Okay, the later Guptas were the feudatories అంటే భూస్వాములు అని అర్థం. The people who hold the land under the feudal system. Feudal system అంటే ఏంటంటే the king వచ్చి ల్యాండ్స్ అనేది అతని సామంత రాజులకు కానీ అతని కింద ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి భూములు ఇస్తాడు. అండ్ ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ ఆర్ భూస్వాములు ఎవరైతే ల్యాండ్ తీసుకుంటారో దే హ్యావ్ టు పే బ్యాక్ టు ద కింగ్ ఎయిదర్ ఇన్ మనీ లైక్ ట్యాక్సెస్ ఆర్ లేదా దే హ్యావ్ టు గివ్ ది అగ్రికల్చరల్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ ఆర్ దే హ్యావ్ టు సప్లై ద మ్యాన్ పవర్ అట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ వార్ఫేర్. సో ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ అంటే అది. So the later Guptas were the feudatories of the imperial Guptas. So they assumed, the later Guptas, they assumed independence after the decline of the imperial Guptas. So and they also ruled in the Magadha region. So Magadha region lo both the Makauris were present and also the later Guptas were also present. In Bengal, it was Gauda kingdom ruled by Gauda Shashanka had become very powerful during this period, and at the capital of Karna Suvarna. And in Assam, it was Kamarupa kingdom. It was ruled by Bhaskara Varman with Pragjyotishapuram as its capital, and he was Bhaskara Varman of Kamarupa kingdom. He was a contemporary of Harsha. So in the south, beyond the Vindhyas, Pulakesin II of the Badami Chalukyas, he ruled over the western part of the Deccan. Beyond the Vindhyas, Pulakesin II, who belonged to the western Pulakesin II ruled over the western part of the Deccan. Okay, he with the Chalukyan kingdom with the Badami as his capital. So in the Badami Chalukyas unnaru with Pulakesin II. Then Pushabhuti dynasty. Harsha's ancestors. So Harsha's ancestors, they belonged to Taneshwar in the eastern Punjab, అంటే హర్యానా, ఈస్టర్న్ పంజాబ్ ఆ రీజన్ దగ్గర ఉంది. ఓకే, హర్షాస్ ancestors belong to Taneshwar in eastern Punjab. Pushyabhuti, who was a devotee of Lord Shiva, founded the dynasty. So from the records we knew the names of Naravardhana, Adityavardhana and Prabhakaravardhana. Naravardhana, Adityavardhana and Prabhakaravardhana. Naravardhana began his rule from 505 AD. Naravardhana began his rule from 505 AD. They had matrimonial relations with the later Gupta kings. They had Pushyabhuti. Naravardhana had matrimonial relations with the later Gupta kings. This sister of Mahashena Gupta. So later Gupta kings, the matrimonial relations. The sister of Mahasena Gupta was the queen of Aditya Vartana. లేటర్ గుప్తాస్లోని మహాసేన గుప్తా వాళ్ళ సిస్టర్ వచ్చి షీ వాస్ ద క్వీన్ ఆఫ్ ఆదిత్యవర్ధన. ద కింగ్డమ్ ఎక్స్పాండెడ్ డ్యూరింగ్ ద పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రభాకర వర్ధన ఆల్సో. సో హీ వాస్ డిస్క్రైబ్డ్ బై బాణభట్ట యాజ్ ద లయన్ టు ద హునా డియర్. హునా ట్రైబ్స్ అని చెప్పాం కదా, ఆ హునా ట్రైబ్స్ని తిప్పి కొట్టారనుకుంటా వీళ్ళు. దట్ ఈస్ వై ప్రభాకర వర్ధన ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as లయన్ ఆఫ్ హునా డియర్స్. Then Prabhakara Vartana defeated the king of Sindhu. He defeated the kings of Sindhu and he raided the Gurjaras and the Kalachuri kingdoms. Kalachuri kingdoms also. Then he defeated the king of Sindhu, Aditya Vartana. He raided, sorry, Prabhakara Vartana. Prabhakara Vartana is known as the lion of Huna deer. It is not Aditya Vartana. Prabhakara, daddy పేరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకో. So Prabhakara Vartana is the lion of Huna deers, and Prabhakara Vartana defeated the kings of Sindhu and he raided the Gurjaras and the Kalachuri kingdoms. Thus he expanded the kingdom. And then Maharaja Pushyabhuti had founded the Pushyabhuti dynasty. It is also called as Pushyabhuti dynasty, is also called as Vardhana dynasty. Okay, because అందరి పేర్లు వర్ధనాస్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి it is also called as Vardhana dynasty. Prabhakara Vardhana, he expanded his kingdom and he announced the independence. Then Harshavardhana was born in 590 AD to the king Prabhakara Vardhana of Staneshwar. Staneshwara is Staneshwar, now in Haryana. Staneshwara, అప్పటి వాళ్ళ క్యాపిటల్ పేరు స్థానేశ్వర. సో హర్షవర్ధన వాజ్ సన్ ఆఫ్ ప్రభాకర వర్ధన. Then his father, Harsha's father, that is Prabhakara Vardhana. Prabhakara Vardhana brother's name is Rajavardhana and sister's name is Rajashri. So Prabhakara Vardhana's sister was given in marriage to Gahavarma of Kanauj. So Harsha's father's sister Rajashri, she was given to Rajashri, she was given in marriage to Gahavarman of Kanauj. Okay. Then Gahavarman, he was conquered by Gauda Shashanka of the West Bengal. So he had killed his brother Kanauj. So దీన్ని అవెంజ్ చేయడానికి, so what Harshavardhana did, he went on to Kanauj and he defeated Gauda Shashanka. He was the one who also desecrated the Bodhi tree. He killed Harshavardhana. He defeated Gauda Shashanka, who had killed his brother-in-law Grihavarman, who has killed his brother-in-law Grihavarman of Kanauj. And thus ఇప్పుడు ఇంతవరకు స్థానేశ్వరే ఉంది, తానేశ్వర్. Now even Kanauj has come under Harshavardhana's reign anamata. Then some facts about Harshavardhana is his titles are Shailaditya or Shiladitya. Sorry, Shailaditya was Shi, SILIDITYA, and he was the greatest ruler and he was called as Shiladitya. SHEELA కూడా చెప్తున్నారు. So he was called as Shiladitya and Rajaputra. After Harsha came, his capital had become Kanauj. And then his conquests of Harsha were, he made Kanauj as his capital after capturing it from Gauda Shashanka. Then his conquests were Kamarupa, అంటే అస్సాంని కూడా కాంక్వర్ చేశారు, గౌడాస్ని కాంక్వర్ చేశారు, మైత్రేయకాస్ ఆఫ్ వల్లభిని కూడా కాంక్వర్ చేసేసాడు. సో మొత్తం అన్ని పక్కల కాంక్వర్ చేసేసాడు. దెన్ Harsha's wife was Durgavati. Harsha had a daughter and 2 sons. Then his daughter married a Vallabhi king. Vallabhini occupy చేసుకున్నారు. Again his daughter was given in marriage to a Vallabhi king, whereas his sons were killed by his own minister. He was a Hindu who later embraced Mahayana Buddhism. Harsha was Hindu. He was actually a Hindu who later embraced Mahayana Buddhism. Then Harsha's titles were Ashoka III. Who was the second Ashoka? So Kanishka, Kushana king Kanishka was called as second Ashoka, and um, this Harshavardhana was called as third Ashoka. Ashoka first, then second Ashoka వచ్చి Kanishka king, Kushana king Kanishka was called as second Ashoka, and Harshavardhana was called as third Ashoka. Then the other titles of Harsha were Shiladitya, Uttarapatha Swami, and Rajaputra. Then another important fact is Pulakesin II of the Badami Chalukyas, he defeated Harshavardhana, and the treaty was concluded with river Narmada being the boundary. So river Narmada ki painemo it is Harshavardhana's kingdom, and below the river Narmada maybe it is Pulakesin II's kingdom. So Pulakesin II of Badami Chalukyas, he defeated Harshavardhana, and the treaty was concluded with river Narmada being the boundary. So the whole event was inscribed in a whole inscription in Karnataka by Pulakesin II. The whole inscription was inscribed in a whole inscription in Karnataka by Pulakesin II. ఇన్షూ చేశాడు ఈ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ని కర్ణాటకలో ఉంది వాళ్ళ రాజ్యంలో. సో అండ్ పులకేసిన్ II హ్యాస్ డిస్క్రైబ్డ్ హర్షవర్ధన యాజ్ సకలోత్తర పాదేశ్వర, సకల లోకోత్తర పాదేశ్వర, సకలోకోత్తర పాదేశ్వర అని చెప్పి హర్షవర్ధనాన్ని డిస్క్రైబ్ చేశారనమాట ఐ హోల్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్లో పులకేసిన్ II. దెన్ ఓకే, మళ్ళీ శైలజ మ్యామ్ నోట్స్లో దాని స్టోరీ ఉంది. హౌ డిడ్ హర్ష రైజ్ టు ద థ్రోన్? ఆఫ్టర్ ప్రభాకర వర్ధన డైడ్, హిస్ ఎల్డర్ సన్ రాజ్యవర్ధన ascended to the throne of Taneshwar. Harsha had a sister Rajyashri who was married to the king of Grahavarman. So it was Harsha's sister. So Harsha had a sister. ఇందాక కూడా అదే చెప్పుంటారు, వాళ్ళ ఫాదర్ వచ్చి ఇందాక కూడా ఐ గాట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్. father of Harsha was Prabhakara Vardhana. Harsha had a brother Rajyavardhana, and Harsha's sister was Rajyashri. Okay, so Harsha had a sister Rajyashri who was married to the king of Grahavarman of Kanauj. Then Devagupta, with the help of the Gauda Shashanka, the Gauda king, killed Grahavarman and kept Rajyashri as prisoner. So Rajyashri ran away to the forest and stayed in the ashram of the Buddhist monk Divakara Mitra. So Devagupta ane later Guptas lo katanu, he with the help of Gauda Shashanka, a Gauda king, so he killed Grahavarman and he kept Rajyashri as a prisoner. She escaped from the prison to the forest, and she stayed in the ashram of Buddhist monk Divakara Mitra. So this promoted Rajyavardhana to fight against the Shashanka, so who went all the way from Taneshwar to Kanauj, and he killed Devagupta, and his way to Taneshwar, and on his way to Taneshwar Rajyavardhana ఎవరిని కిల్ చేశారు? తానేశ్వర్కి కనౌజ్కి వెళ్ళి Rajyavardhana, he went to Kanauj and he killed Devagupta. Okay, on his way to Taneshwar back, he was attacked by Shashanka. Surprisingly, Gauda Shashanka attacked చేశాడు Rajyavardhanani, in which Rajyavardhana was killed. Then this led to the 16-year-old Harshavardhana to ascend the throne of Taneshwar in 1606, and he ascended to the throne on the advice of his minister, Bandi minister, Bani or Bandi. So he ascended to the throne on the advice of his Bani or Bandi minister. Then Harshavardhana, he vowed to avenge his brother's murder and also rescue his sister. So he first rescued his sister who was in the forest. For this, he forged an alliance with Bhaskara Varman, the Kamarupa king. భాస్కర వర్మ వచ్చి హీ ఫోర్జ్డ్ దీనికోసం వాళ్ళ సిస్టర్ని సేవ్ చేయడం కోసం హీ ఫోర్జ్డ్ అన్ అలయన్స్ విత్ భాస్కర వర్మన్ who was a Kamarupa king. Then Harsha and Bhaskara Varma, then they marched against Shashanka, Gauda Shashanka. Ultimately Shashanka, he left for Bengal and Harsha became the king of Kannauj also. Then empire of Harsha. On conquering Kannauj, Harsha united the two kingdoms of Taneshwar and Kannauj. Then on conquering Kannauj, Harsha united the two kingdoms of Taneshwar and Kannauj. He moved his capital to Kannauj. After the fall of Guptas, northern India was divided into many small kingdoms. So Harsha was able to unite many of them under his control. And Harsha was able to unite many of them under his control. Then he had under his control Punjab and Central India. Punjab, which was already his dynasty, and then Central India, which he had conquered later. Then after Shashanka's death, Gauda Shashanka's death, he annexed Bengal and Bihar and Odisha also. Wow, such a huge place. Then after Shashanka's death, he annexed Bengal, Bihar and Orissa also. He also defeated the Vallabhi king in Gujarat. The Vallabhi king and Harsha, they came to a truce by a marriage between Harsha's daughter and the Vallabhi king's Dhruva Bhatta. Harsha's daughter and the Vallabhi king Dhruva Bhatta. So they got married. Harsha's daughter got married to the Vallabhi king Dhruva Bhatta. Thus they came to a truce by the marriage. Then, however, Harsha's plans to conquer the lands of south were hampered when Badami Chalukya king Pulakesin II, he defeated Harsha in 618 to 619 AD on the banks of river Narmada. He got defeated. This was decisive. This was a decisive battle in which Harsha lost a big part of his elephant army and had to retreat. And he had to retreat. Then Pulakesin II, he defeated Harsha and he issued the Aihole inscription written by Ravi Kirti. The Aihole inscription was written by Ravi Kirti. The same battle has been described by Huansang also. This Huansang ఎవరైతే వచ్చాడో to Harsha's court from China. China ruler had sent Huansang to Harsha's court as embassy. So the Aihole inscription lonu Ravikirti rasina Aihole inscription lonu this battle between Pulakesin and Harshavardhana on the banks of river Narmada is explained, and Huansang also has described the same battle. The battle ended with a treaty in which Harsha was made to recognize the river Narmada as his southern border. Okay, then after this victory, Pulakesin II assumed the titles of Parameshwara, Prithvi Vallabha, Satyashraya, etc., and he became the paramount power in the modern Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat regions. Okay. So after this victory, Pulakesin II, he assumed the titles of Parameshwara, Prithvi Vallabha, Satyashraya, etc., and he became a paramount power in the modern Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. And even all the feudatories were under the tight control or tight command of Harsha. All his feudatories were under the tight command of Harsha. Then Harsha's reign, it marked the beginning of feudalism in India. Harsha's reign had marked the beginning of feudalism in India. Then he also assumed the titles of Dakshinapatha Parameshwara around the same time on the lines of Harsha's title Uttarapateshwara. Okay, in Pulakesin he took the name as Dakshinapateshwara on the lines that Harsha took Uttarapateshwara, because Harsha title enti Uttarapatha Ishwara, Pulakesin II's title వచ్చి Dakshinapatha Ishwara. Harsha Vardhana Pulakesin II, Dakshinapatha Ishwara, Uttarapatha Ishwara. Then this sealed Harsha's southern territorial limit as the Narmada river. This battle, it sealed Harsha's territorial limit as the Narmada river. Southern territorial limit. So there were two types of territories under Harsha. That is, one was directly under him, and the other type was that with the feudatories. Direct territories were central provinces, Bengal, Kalinga and Rajputana and Gujarat. Central provinces, Bengal, Kalinga, Rajputana and Gujarat. Then అంతే కదా ఇందాక వాళ్ళు చెప్పిన ప్లేసెస్. సో ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ వేర్ జలంధర్, కశ్మీర్, కామరూప, సింధ్ అండ్ నేపాల్. సో సచ్ అ హ్యూజ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా వాస్ అండర్ హిమ్. సో డైరెక్ట్ టెరిటరీస్ వచ్చి సెంట్రల్ ప్రావిన్సెస్ రాజ్పుటానా, గుజరాత్, కళింగ అండ్ బెంగాల్ విచ్ హ్యాడ్ కాంక్వర్డ్. దెన్ ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ వచ్చి జలంధర్ అంటే పంజాబ్, కశ్మీర్, అస్సాం, సింధ్. Okay, Jalandhar, Kashmir, Sindh on the west side, Kamarupa and Nepal on the eastern side. Then he conquered the Makauri kingdom and